Hey there, Cowboys fan. Let's jump right into one of the hottest questions surrounding the team right now. Is Dallas really in the market for a veteran wide receiver, or is this just off-season noise? Because the names floating around are real. Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Adam Thielen. The only thing missing is a decision from the front office. Let's start with Amari Cooper. He's still a crisp route runner, smooth, productive, and not the kind of guy who makes headlines off the field. Even at 30 years old, he's coming off a 1,250-yard season with the Browns. That includes multiple games where he completely took over, including a ridiculous 265-yard outing. But here's the kicker. He's entering the final year of his deal and carries a cap hit north of $20 million. Cleveland might be open to moving him if they're trying to free up space, and Dallas already knows exactly what he brings to the table. Then there's Keenan Allen. Polished, reliable, tough. He's a target. Machine when healthy. But health is the concern, right? He's missed games in 4 of the last 5 seasons and is now 33. Still, he did rack up 108 catches for over 2,200 yards in 2023 before getting hurt late in the year. Chicago traded for him, but if things go south early with Caleb Williams, who knows? He could become available. The rumors around Mike Evans, on the other hand, feel like wishful thinking. Tampa extended him for 2 more years, and he's still a touchdown magnet. Unless the Bucs implode, he's probably off the table. Same with Adam Thielen. Yes, he had a bounce-back season in Carolina. Yes, he'd be cheaper than the rest, but does he really move the needle? So I've got to ask you, is this about finding a real upgrade or just panic from the front office? Would you welcome Amari back? Vote right now. Do the Cowboys need a veteran WR? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comments. And if so, who would you target? Drop the name below. Let's see what the real fans think. Now let's talk about why the Cowboys are even sniffing around these veteran receivers. Because honestly, if you look at the roster, the need is real. CeeDee Lamb is elite, no question. But after him, that's where things start to get shaky. Brandon Cooks showed flashes last season, but he's not the same consistent deep threat he used to be. He had just 657 yards last year. Solid, but not scary. Then you've got Jalen Tolbert and Kavontae Turpin. Promising? Maybe. Proven? Not yet. And with Michael Gallup gone, the WR3 spot is officially up for grabs. The Cowboys are clearly trying to make life easier for Dak Prescott, especially with the offensive line in flux and the run game still a mystery. You can't expect Dak to carry the load with just one reliable target. Defenses will double Lamb every week and dare someone else to beat them. That's not a winning formula. Another reason to believe the front office might act? The 2025 season is shaping up as make or break. The pressure on Mike McCarthy is massive. And with no long-term deal in place for Dak, this could be his final shot in Dallas. If the Cowboys don't make a deep playoff run, we're likely looking at a full reset. New head coach, new quarterback, new era. So adding a veteran wide receiver isn't just about talent. It's about urgency. It's about giving this offense one more real chance to go the distance. That's why a move, especially one involving a familiar face like Amari, isn't just possible. It might actually be necessary. Now I want to hear from you again. What's the bigger priority right now? Another WR or help on the offensive line? Comment WR if you think receiver is the missing piece, or OL if you believe protecting Dak is the top priority. And don't worry, we're just getting warmed up. Next, we'll break down exactly what these trades would cost and whether the Cowboys are willing to pay the price. All right, so let's talk business. Because it's one thing to want a big-name wide receiver, it's another thing to actually pull off a deal. So what would it take for the Cowboys to land a guy like Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, or DJ Moore? Let's start with Cooper. This one's interesting because he's already been traded twice in his career, and the most recent deal was for just a 5th-round pick. That was a steal by the Browns, but the situation's different now. Cooper is still productive, posting over 100 yards last season, and the Browns don't need to move him. Still, because of his 20 $20 million cap hit, and the fact that he's on the final year of his deal, a third-round pick might be enough to get it done. Now Keenan Allen. He's 32, but the guy still had 1,143 yards in 13 games last year. The Bears just drafted Rome Odunze and already have DJ Moore, so Allen could be the odd man out. But they gave up a fourth-round pick to get him, and they might want to hold on to that veteran presence. To pry him away, Dallas might have to give up a 2025 third or even a second-rounder, depending on the market. Then there's DJ Moore, probably the least likely option. He's still just 27, under contract and coming off a career year. Unless the Bears go all in on their youth movement, it's going to take a lot to get him. Think a first-round pick, or at the very least, a second and a third. And don't forget, any trade for a player like this means taking on a big contract. The Cowboys are already tight on cap space, and they haven't extended Dak or ceedee yet. So Jerry Jones would have to get creative with restructures or risk kicking the financial can even further down the road. So here's the question, and I need your take. Which player would be worth giving up a second-round pick for? Drop a comment. Amari, Keenan, or Moore. Who's your pick? Coming up next, we'll dive into how each of these receivers would actually fit in the Cowboys' offense. Now let's dive into the fun part, imagining what these guys would actually look like in a Cowboys uniform. Because it's not just about name value, it's about fit. Let's start with Amari Cooper. He already knows this system. He has chemistry with Dak Prescott. He's a route-running technician who thrives in timing-based offenses, exactly what Mike McCarthy wants. Imagine Cooper lining up opposite CeeDee Lamb again, with Brandon Cooks as your field stretcher. That trio would give defenses nightmares. And the fact that Amari already had success in Dallas means the learning curve would be minimal. He'd be a plug-and-play WR2 with WR1 upside. Now Keenan Allen, this one's intriguing. Keenan's not a burner, but he's one of the best possession receivers in the league. He's a chain mover, a guy Dak can trust on 3rd and 6 to get separation and make a tough grab. Think of Allen as the perfect safety blanket when CeeDee's drawing double teams. Plus, he's a savvy vet who'd raise the floor of this receiver room immediately. You'd probably see him rotate in and out of the slot, allowing CeeDee to move outside more often, creating mismatches all over the field. As for DJ Moore, he's the most dynamic of the three. He can play outside or inside, he's dangerous after the catch, and he's used to carrying the load in an offense. If the Cowboys wanted to get aggressive and truly chase a Super Bowl in 2025, Moore would be the all-in move. Pairing him with Lamb would give Dallas one of the most explosive 1-2 punches in the league. And with Dak in a contract year, giving him more weapons only makes sense. But here's the question for you. Which of these three receivers do you think fits best in the Cowboys' offense? Vote in the comments. Cooper, Allen, or Moore? Who makes the most sense schematically? All right, we've looked at the rumors, the cost, and the fit. Now let's close it out by talking about the urgency. Do the Cowboys even have the luxury of waiting? So now the big question, should the Cowboys wait or strike now? Let's be honest, the Cowboys don't have time to sit on their hands. The NFC East is wide open, sure, but Philadelphia just reloaded and Washington is coming with a new franchise quarterback. Dallas can't afford to be reactive anymore. The time to be aggressive is now. Mike McCarthy is coaching for his job. Dak Prescott is in a contract year. And Jerry Jones, he's 81 years old. The window to win with this core group is shrinking fast. If there was ever a time to make a bold move, it's right now, in the aftermath of a draft where Dallas didn't add a surefire starter at wide receiver. The Cowboys' offense was inconsistent last year when defenses took away CeeDee Lamb. And let's be real, you can't count on Jalen Tolbert or Jalen Brooks to suddenly become WR2 caliber players in 2025. Adding a proven, reliable pass catcher like Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen, or even swinging for the fences with DJ Moore, would immediately elevate the offense. It gives Dak a fighting chance in what could be his most important season yet. And there's another angle here too. Beat the market. Right now, all three of these receivers are in that sweet spot where the asking price hasn't skyrocketed. Yet. But if another team loses a key wideout to injury in camp, or if a contender suddenly gets desperate, prices go up, options vanish. Dallas can't afford to get caught behind the 8 ball. So, here's where you come in. Do you think the Cowboys should act now and make a trade? Or should they wait and see how the young guys develop in camp? Type trade. Now or wait and see in the comments. I'm curious where you stand. And if you enjoyed this breakdown and want more videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll keep you updated on every rumor, every trade buzz, and every move that matters in Cowboys Nation. Because one thing's for sure, the Cowboys are officially on the clock.